Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amelie if you guys are new here. Today's video is gonna be a girl talk, Q&A, life updates, big sis chat, pretty much anything that you can think along those lines. That's what we're gonna be talking about today. I always remember watching these videos as someone who didn't have an older sister and finding them so helpful, so if I can help anyone, girl or boy, watching this, then that is exactly my goal. I figured first we'd do just like a little bit of an introduction just in case anyone is new to my channel. How are you gonna take my advice and how can I be your big sister if you don't even know me? So my name is Amelie. I am a freshman in college at San Diego State University. I've been on my fitness journey and really into working out and taking care of my health in a balanced approach for about 4 years now. I'm into fitness, fashion, I love hanging out with friends, going to the beach, and I really just believe that your life is as good as your mindset and that it's all about balance because you only live once, so you should take care of your body, but at the same time, you can't have a restricted life because then you won't enjoy your life. That's just kind of like a little bit about me. I don't want to stall. I have a bunch of questions that I screenshotted from my Instagram, which is right here. Sorry if you guys hear any background noise, it's my ice machine. But make sure to go follow my Instagram so that next time I do a Q&A, you can be up to date and ask away. But yeah, let's just get right into it. I don't have like a specific order for these questions, but I think first we'll just go like general and then more into the girl talk later on in this video. But before we get into it, I just want to give a little PSA. We're probably going to be talking about food, body image, calories, partying, relationships, exes, like we're getting deep into it. I'm literally gonna just speak from the heart and my own experience. If any of that is triggering to you in any way, shape, or form, or you just don't want to consume that type of content, I have so many other videos for you to go watch. You don't have to watch this one, I totally get it. But at the same time, I think that the hard truth is sometimes the best truth, and even if topics make us uncomfortable, it can also help us grow the most. So that's why I'm making this video, because we're gonna talk about everything. The first question is, have you ever had any relationships that you've regretted so far? No. I personally choose to live life with no regrets. You can have things where you're like, oh, maybe that wasn't the best idea. Maybe I shouldn't have done this. But everything that you do is a learning opportunity. I've had bad relationships, but I never regret them because they taught me what I don't want in my future relationships. And I also learned a lot about myself from those relationships. I truly do see every experience that I have, good or bad, as a learning opportunity or a success, not a regret. So for that reason, no, I've never had any relationships that I regret. How do you socialize and still stay on track / not compare how your friends eat and live? Once I realized that everybody is different and every body is different and every life is different, I was able to really separate myself from other people because everyone has different goals in life. Like, I could look at someone and be like, oh my god, she's eating all of this and I can't eat that much to achieve my goals. But that's because they're my goals, not her goals. Who knows what she's doing? Who knows how much she ate before that? Whatever. You don't know anyone's background information. You only know your own background and your own goals. And once you realize that everyone's gonna have different goals and different ways of living are gonna help them achieve those goals, it makes comparison a lot easier because what works for someone isn't gonna work for you. And you're both gonna have different goals anyways, so it doesn't even matter. Same thing with living. Everyone's gonna have different lifestyles that work for them. Doesn't mean it has to work for you. How do you decide what college is right for you? I think there are a few really important factors to focus on. The first one being academics and your major, like is the school just going to support you in your education in general? The second one would be location, which when I was picking out my school, a lot of people were like, you can't pick your school based off location, like that's so stupid, blah blah blah. But the environment that you are in has such an impact on your mental health. If you choose a school that is in an environment that you do not thrive in, like for example, I could never go to a snowy school. I just can't do it. I need the sun. That's why I chose to go to school in Southern California where it's February and I'm tanning, because I know that I'm a happier person, a more mentally stable person when the sun is out. And when the sun is out, I feel more productive. I'm more likely to want to go to class, to study, to do my homework. I'm just happier. So academics, location, environment, which is kind of part of location, but just like the social atmosphere of the school, which when you tour it, you kind of get a sense for the type of students that go there. I would say that those are like the big three. And then obviously it comes down to your financial situation. I chose to go to a state school, so it's more financially affordable for me because I pay for my own school. So that was a factor in my decision. Also distance from your family, whether you want to be closer, farther, whatever, which I guess that one kind of goes into a part of location. I would say those are the biggest factors that come when you're deciding your college. And at the end of the day, you either make the right decision and you're 100% happy with it, or you make the wrong decision right. I promise you, if you have the right mindset about college, you're gonna love whichever school you choose. You're gonna find your people wherever you go, and you're gonna find what you like and don't like wherever you go. So just go to the school that you feel the most called to, and if you trust that intuition and that pull, you're gonna be happy. For example, I got into SDSU and UCSB, and those are my top two, and a lot of people were like, how did you choose SDSU over UCSB? UCSB has so much more prestige, stuff like that. I just felt so much intuition calling me to go to SDSU, pointing me in that direction, that was where I was going to be the most at peace with myself and like thrive. And I have never, ever once regretted my decision to go to SDSU. So just trust your gut and listen to yourself. Don't listen to what other people are thinking, because everyone else is always going to have opinions on where you're going, what you're doing with your life, family, friends, etc. Oh, that's the other thing. Do not pick your school based off of where your high school friends are going. Please, please, please. Or like your current boyfriend, anything like that. Because people come and go throughout your life, and you change so much in college. Like, it's actually insane. I'm just a freshman and I've already changed so much since my senior year. And yes, I have some of the same friends, but I also have a lot of new friends. So if you're choosing where to go to college just based off of your current friends, there's a huge likelihood, realistically, that you might not even be friends with them anymore in a few months. Like, I know that's harsh, but it's true. So please, please, please do not choose your college just because your best friend is going there, or your boyfriend, or anything like that. How do you know he's the one? This might be a hot take, but I don't really believe that there is just one person meant for you. I think that humans are really special because we are capable of loving so many different individuals. So I think there's like a handful of people out there that you could match equally well with. And that I literally could dive into and like talk about forever and ever and ever. But for the sake of this question, let's just simplify it to like, how do you know if this person is the right person for you, the person that you should date, maybe marry, who knows, whatever stage of life you're at? Does he add to your life? Does he make you happy? Does he treat you well, with respect? Does he make you not even want to look and think about other guys or girls or whoever? When you are with him and you look at him, does that feeling of love and joy and happiness and content consume you? If you can answer yes to all of those questions, I would say you are in the right relationship. You are where you should be, and you should lock it down. It should be all of them, or at least like 99% of them, because you can have a love that consumes you and it can be so wrong for you, and you can have someone that loves you and respects you but you don't feel the same amount of love back for them, and you should not be in that relationship, because it's really easy to be kind of almost trapped in a relationship because you feel like it's the right thing for you, because you're like, oh, they treat me so well, they should be the perfect one for me. But if you don't feel the same way, they are not the right one for you. So to those questions that I asked, I would say like 99% you should be like, yes, 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 yes. And that's how I would say they're the one for you. But also, I just don't like the idea of putting the pressure of the one, because I don't think there ever is going to be the one. Like, you can think you found the one, and then something happens, you break up, whatever, right person, wrong time, who knows, and you can find another one. There's like literally, what, 8 billion people in the world? But I think you can have many, many, many right people in your life and loves that consume you. How do you make guy friends? I've always found myself to be someone that kind of naturally gravitates towards boys more when it comes to friendships. And I don't want to sound like one of those girls that's like, oh my god, like I'm one of the boys. Like, no, like that's not what I'm talking about. I've just always had experiences with boys where our friend groups mix. So I've always had boys and girls in my friend groups. And I think what really helps me make those friendships is to not look for relationships in every single male person that I meet. Like, when I meet a guy, my first thought isn't like, oh, like, he's really cute, I want to try to date him, what does he think of me? Don't look towards men for validation and love interests all the time. Like, just see them as people. And I think that that's how I've like gotten so close to so many guys. And of course, I also my girlfriends, like, it's not like I only have guy friends, but just like realizing like they're just people and not trying to look good in front of them 24/7, not trying to impress them 24/7. Just like be yourself, and that is how you make friends in general, like not even just guy friends. I personally just love having guy friends because it's just like a different type of energy. Like, I love my girlfriends, I love getting ready together, sharing clothes together, laughing together, crying together, but also it's fun to just hang out with guys and hear their thoughts and laughs and their jokes and all that stuff. So just finding that balance, being yourself, and like not putting pressure around having guy friends and how many girlfriends you have and anything like that. Like, just be friends with who you want to be friends with, and if it happens to be guys, it happens to be guys. If it happens to be girls, it happens to be girls. What has been my experience with birth control and how has it affected my body? I'm so scared to go on mine. So, I have an IUD. I have the hormonal one, not the copper one. I don't know which brand it is, but it's the one that lasts 8 years. And it was literally the best thing I have ever done for myself. I know that everyone has different experiences because everyone's body is different. And I have a theory, this is like not proven by the doctor or anything like that, but I have a theory that getting an IUD kind of replicates a period. So like for me, I always have had in the past super light periods, never got any crazy cramps, nothing like that. So my experience getting the IUD was similar. Like, it didn't really hurt going in. I only spotted for like a week, and then I literally have not gotten my period since March of 2023. That's literally 2 years I have not bled. And then obviously I had a boyfriend for 2 years, like do things with boyfriends, you know what I mean? And we aren't pregnant. So I would say that I've had a really great experience. It was literally the best thing I've ever done. I would definitely recommend talking to your doctor or your parents if you're interested in it, because safety comes first, especially when it comes to being sexually active. Like, you want to make sure that you are not getting pregnant, and getting an IUD was the best thing that's ever happened to me. And then obviously also that means I don't bleed, which means I also don't really get all of the cramps and the symptoms. It makes my workout so much better. I chose to get an IUD first. I've never had any other form of birth control, just because I'd heard like horror stories of people going on the pill and like gaining a bunch of weight and their skin changing and all of this stuff, and I didn't want to deal with it. So I just went straight for the IUD, so I can't really speak on the pill. I'm also someone that is like super forgetful and so bad at like remembering things. So I was like, realistically, I'm not going to be able to like remember to take a pill every day at 9 p.m. So again, IUD, I love it. Ride or die, which kind of leads me into the next question, which is navigating missing periods. When I was first losing weight and like on my fitness journey, I kind of had irregular periods, but I've always had irregular periods, like even before I started losing weight. If you are constantly missing your period and you are trying to lose weight, talk to your doctor, because no physique is worth risking your fertility. And there's a lot of other reasons that you could be missing your period too. It's not just when you're losing weight. It could be a hormonal thing or anything like that. As women, like, our bodies aren't always going to be predictable, so it's okay if you don't have like a super consistent period. But if you're constantly missing your periods, I would definitely recommend talking to a doctor, because you just want to make sure that everything is good inside. You want to make sure that you're not missing anything. So I would definitely recommend, if you have any worry in your head about anything, about your periods and about your body, talk to your doctor. Best advice on how to stand up and create the life you want. You only get one life, and it is your life, and you can do whatever you want with it. And once I realized that, literally creating my dream life got so much easier, because we are only on this earth for maybe like 80 years if we're lucky, which sounds like so much, but you only get like 20-30 years of youth, then it's time to have a family, then you're a grandma and grandpa. Like, every stage of life is different, and every day is a new opportunity to do something good for yourself, to do something for your future self, and it's also a new day that you can't get back. So why are you living your life for other people? It's your life. So stand up, stand on business, and do the actions that are going to take you where you want to go. And truly, the tiniest steps make the biggest difference. Like, even I noticed just wearing a sweat set, I feel so much more put together, I feel so much more motivated, and I feel so much like a better person. Those little actions of just like how you present yourself, how you do your morning routine, what time you wake up, those tiny actions build up to create the life that you want. So realize that you only get one life, and it's your life, which means it's okay to be selfish. It's okay to do what you need to do for yourself, and realize that you can literally fake it till you make it. Like, honestly, the way that you dress, the way that you hold yourself, the way that you talk, the way that you respect yourself, it all speaks so much about your life to yourself and to other people. So just do those little things, because the little things matter the most in the long run, and then just act like the person that you want to become, and you will get there. How to leave somebody you know you shouldn't be with, but you so badly want to stay. You are your own best friend. I kind of like to think of it like this. This is you. This is the world around you. It keeps moving. It keeps rotating. It keeps changing. People are changing. Your life is changing. Your situations are changing. But you have yourself, and you will always have yourself, and that has to be your number one priority, because people are going to come and go, but you are always going to be with yourself. And people are meant to come and go. People are meant to leave your life so that better ones can come in. And if you know that somebody is bad for you, if you know that someone is wrong for you, why are you keeping them in your life? Because they're just taking up space in your life for someone that is going to treat you so much better and be so much better for you and to you. If you know that someone is bad for you, just get rid of them. Literally cut them out. Don't look back. You can do it very respectfully, you can do it very kindly, or you can do it not kindly. It doesn't really matter. But if somebody is actively bringing you down and not adding to your life, they are wasting space in your life. And a lot of times it's really easy to be kind of blinded and not realize that someone isn't good for you. But if you know that someone's not good for you and you just want to stay because it's what you're comfortable with, realize that all of the growth and all of the good comes from being uncomfortable. And by getting rid of them, you are making space for so much better. How to heal your relationship with food out of love and not hate. What really helped me with my relationship with food was realizing that we don't have a relationship with food. Food is not a person. This isn't like a person that we have to have, like, we're on good terms with and, like, talk to and be like, oh, like, hi, like, nice to meet you. Like, no. Food is fuel. It is just there, and every single type of food is there to fuel us and help us and make us feel good. There's no relationship with it. Like, don't give it that much power over yourself. When you are properly fueled, you are nicer, you are smarter, you are kinder, you glow differently, you look better. I have been malnourished, and trust me when I tell you, I did not look good. Like, I look back at pictures and I'm like, oh my God, where was my butt? Where were my boobs? Where was my cheeks that, like, light up when I smile? They weren't there. You look and feel so much better when you're fueled. So for that reason, out of love for yourself, fuel yourself. And then on the flip side, if you are someone who maybe struggles with binge eating, stuff like that, food is meant to make you feel good. Stuffing yourself till you literally cannot breathe does not make you feel good. You are supposed to be taking care of your body. Why are you making it feel bad? Food should not have that power over you. It's meant to make you feel good. You can have it at a balanced time. You can have a cookie whenever you want. You don't need to eat all of the cookies at once. They're not running away from you. You can have a cookie today and you can have a cookie tomorrow. And honestly, it gets better to space that out so your body gets used to consuming the foods in cookies, so that you know how to digest it, so that you can still achieve all of your fitness goals while still having a cookie every now and then. So regardless of what your relationship with food looks like, whether you struggle with eating, or you struggle with overeating, or you struggle with restriction, etc., realizing that you don't actually have a relationship with food, because food is not a person, it's a tool, it is fuel, it is meant to make you feel good, and then just focusing on consuming the amounts and the foods that make you feel good made the biggest difference in healing how I approach eating. How to make a guy want a relationship with you? Let me just put it down straight. If you have to try to convince a guy to want a relationship with you, he is not for you. You do not want to be in a relationship that you had to convince to start. If you're going to get into a relationship, you both should be mutually so excited about being in it. Otherwise, it's just not going to work. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the Mel Robbins let them theory, but it's basically saying, if someone wants to be mean to you, let them. If someone wants to cheat on you, let them. If someone wants to leave you, let them. Because why would you want someone in your life that you have to kind of control and, like, be thinking about, paranoid about 24/7, convincing them to do things for you. No, just let them do what they want to do and see what happens and let life take its course, because that will show you their true intentions. So if you have to convince your significant other to be in a relationship with you, why would you want to even be in a relationship with them? Because they don't want to be with you. And if they don't want to be with you, you shouldn't want to be with them. And I know that that's hard and it sucks, but there is someone out there that would do anything to be in a relationship with you. So you should not waste your time on the person that you are having to beg for attention and to convince to date you. Is joining a sorority like in the movies, or is it chill? Honestly, it varies school to school. I would say SDSU is kind of in the middle. Rush is definitely intense, and we definitely have those kind of like stereotypes, stuff like that, but it's not as big of a deal as it is in like some southern schools where I know it's like super stressful and they go all out, and it's very much like it is in the movies. And then there's also schools where Greek life isn't as big and it's like a super chill experience. So I would definitely say my experience is a little bit like it is in the movies, not like entirely, but just like a little bit. But I think it just totally varies school to school. Parties and indulging, I'm 18 and legal here in Quebec. So let's just pretend that we're all 21 here, okay? I don't condone underage indulging, but I know a lot of you guys are over 21 or 18 if you live outside of the US. When it comes to partying and indulging, I think it's all about a balance. I'm not gonna lie and say that I don't go to parties or anything like that. I'm going to Cabo for spring break. Drinking is legal at 18 in Mexico. I'm 19, probably gonna do it. You have to just make sure that you are safe, okay? My girls, if you are out partying, if you're at clubs, always hold your drink. Don't put it down. Don't trust it with anyone that you wouldn't trust with your life. Cover it when you hold it. Be safe. Don't take drinks from strangers unless you literally watched them make it. And just find a balance. You don't want to lose yourself. Like, I think, again, you only live once. You want to have fun experiences, but at the same time, it's really easy to lose yourself and get wrapped up in parties. And obviously, you're staying out later, so you're waking up later, so you're less productive. Which, again, on the weekends, every now and then, that's fun. That's great. I was out super late last night. But you just have to find that balance and find what works for you, and just don't get peer pressured. It's okay if you don't enjoy partying, and it's okay if you love partying. It is all about finding yourself, finding what you enjoy, finding that balance, and making sure that you are safe. Thoughts on long distance. For anyone who doesn't know, I was in a long distance relationship for about a year and a half. And again, I don't regret it. I learned a lot about myself. I had a great relationship with the boy that I did it with. I have some of my best memories of my life with him, and those were made through doing long distance. It was also extremely challenging. It took a lot of work, a lot of trust, a lot of honesty, a lot of tears, a lot of conversations and hard talks. He actually broke up with me once, and then I broke up with him. It wasn't even in a toxic way. It was just like us trying to figure out how to do long distance together as growing, changing people. I will always say, try it. If you are with someone who you love and you can see a future with, try it. It's not gonna work for everyone. It takes a lot of trust. Like, that is literally the core foundation of long distance, is trust and commitment. But I will always say, try it. It can work for some people. It's not gonna work for everyone. You definitely do miss out on some experiences. Like, I will be fully honest, having a boyfriend in college, like not even long distance, just having a boyfriend in college, you're gonna miss out on some experiences, and your love and loyalty to someone has to overpower the desire to experience those experiences. Those are all just factors to consider when you're thinking about long distance and having relationships, because relationships are so much love and also so much sacrifice, and they're all just factors to think about. So that's kind of my thoughts on long distance. I would always say try it. I'm not gonna be like a pessimist and be like, fuck that, like it doesn't work. It could work. It didn't work for me. It wasn't something that I could see myself doing for 4 years, but it might work for you. So try it. Speaking of my breakup, the next question is, are you in your dating era / how are you navigating dating in college? I posted a TikTok kind of explaining my breakup, but I was dating my ex for 2.5 years. I ended up breaking up with him not for college, but just because I was feeling really called to find myself and experience life just being single and only responsible for myself, because I've literally been in a relationship since my freshman year of high school, and then I found myself in college not even knowing what it was like to just be independent, and I just felt like I couldn't really be the best person for myself and in a relationship in college. And I also felt like long distance was kind of just like tearing me in half, and I was always having to leave school to go see him and then come back, and it was just like very, very stressful, and I just couldn't do it anymore. So there was multiple reasons as to why we broke up. We're still on great terms. I have so much love and respect for him. Like, truly, it was one of the hardest things ever because it was like no one did anything wrong. It was just like not the right time for me. And because of that, I'm definitely not in my dating era. Like, I have no interest in dating anybody right now. I'm definitely having fun, going to parties, talking to who I want to talk to, you know, having the single and college experience. But I've also never been a hookup girl, and I'm not interested in dating, so I'm kind of just like focusing on me. Whatever happens, happens. Just like playing it by ear, living life. I'm not really thinking about boys that much right now, so yeah, brain is kind of off, I guess, when it comes to boys. How to stay true to yourself and values. At the end of the day, you know what's important to you and you know what you need to prioritize. And I think that by prioritizing your values, you meet people that share similar values. By standing your ground, and if you know that something isn't sitting with you right, voice those opinions. Don't do it. Don't participate. And if the people that you're with judge you for that or do it anyways, it's going to be a very clear indicator that those are not the people that you should be surrounding yourself with. So the more that you stay true to those intuitions and the more that you stay true to those values, the better environment and crowd of people you're going to attract, because they're also going to share the same values with you, because they're going to agree with you, they're going to be doing the same activities as you, and it's just all around going to be a better environment for you than if you push down those values and those morals and just do what everyone else around you is doing, because then you're going to get wrapped up in it. And you're going to keep attracting those people that don't share those same values as you, because they're going to see you doing things that don't support your values, and they're not going to know that those don't support your values. So those people are going to think that you agree with what they're doing, and then you're just going to keep attracting people like that. So it's better to be alone and stick to your values than to be with people in bad company that don't. And that's the best way that I can think to describe it, because everyone has such different values and just priorities in general. And I don't think it's like a clear line. I don't think there's things that's like, oh, that doesn't support my goals. Oh, that does support my goals. Sometimes like this isn't exactly who I try to be, but you know what, it's okay. And then there's also gonna be times where it's like, oh, this kind of supports my goals. Like, you know, there's gonna be those like gray areas where you kind of just have to like go with the flow of things and just do it anyway sometimes. Like, you're not gonna know what to do, so you just have to pick your best option. But if you feel like a gut feeling of like, wow, this does not sit with me, this is not who I am, this is not who I wanna be, don't do it. Never do it. It literally, like, your gut, your intuition, your values are there for a reason. Listen to them. I'm not someone necessarily who's religious, but I do believe that there is something greater than us out there, and I think that our intuitions and our values that we're born with and given and created are there for a reason, and I think that if you don't follow them, you will be put in worse situations. So truly, 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 if you have like that gut feeling of like, wow, this does not sit with me, do not do it. Do not do it. How to meet new people at university and college. The way that my school does it, we live in the dorms our freshman year, which is like literally how I've met pretty much most of my best friends. We're like all neighbors, we all live in the same dorm, and I've like, that was a really good start to meeting new people. Also, get involved in as many clubs or Greek life that you can. I've met so many of my best friends through my sorority. So for me, that was like my number one way of like meeting people socially. But if you're not interested in Greek life, there's so many clubs that you can join, or like workout classes, stuff like that. And then lastly, if you're not interested in joining clubs or anything like that, just do what you love and do it alone. And by doing it alone, you're going to find other people that are also interested in those things. And then don't be scared to reach out and be like, hey, I love your workout set. Do you want to do this class together next time? My name's Amelie, nice to meet you. Or like, maybe you love going to coffee shops and studying, and then you see a girl sitting all cute at the table across from you, and you're like, oh my god, like we should do a little study buddy date or something like that. You know, like do what you love and don't be afraid to do it alone. And by doing those things that you love, you're going to meet other people that also love what you love, and then you can make friends and build those connections through those similarities. I feel like I kind of touched on this question a little bit already. How did you know it was best to break up with your boyfriend to find yourself in college? And my honest answer was, I felt an intuition, like a call in the back of my head, and I was questioning if I should be in the relationship at all. If you are in the right relationship, I don't think you should be questioning if you should be in it. You should 100% without a doubt be like, wow, I'm so happy I'm in this relationship. I'm really happy here. There's no place I would rather else be. And I still loved him so much, but in the back of my head, I was like, I kind of feel like I need to be alone right now. And if you're feeling that, you need to act on it. Otherwise, years are gonna go by and you're gonna have like a literal mental breakdown and freak out, midlife crisis of like, oh my god, I regret not acting on this. Like now I know for a fact I should have done it, like blah, blah, blah. So that's kind of why I did it. I just knew, I was like, I'm feeling called by something to do it. And if I don't act on it now, it's gonna cause problems down the line in our relationship in the future. And who knows what the future looks like. He could be the right person for me and maybe we reconnect in a few years after I've found myself and had the experiences that I want to experience in college. Who knows? But that's why, essentially, I knew it was the best to break up, because I felt that intuition to be alone, and I think that if you're with someone and you're feeling called to be alone, you have to act on it. How much harder is college than high school? Honestly, it's not that much harder. Honestly, I think it's like, dare I say, easier. That being said, I'm a freshman, I'm doing my GEs, like I'm not taking insanely hard classes, but the only reason I say it's easier is because you have so much more control over your schedule, and teachers are way more flexible. Like you can take online classes if you want, you can take evening classes if you're not someone who likes to wake up in the morning, or you can take morning classes if you're an early riser. You get to live on campus so you don't have to wake up as early to get to class, and you just have so much more freedom in college. And also the classes that you're taking are way more interesting. Like you actually get to find courses that knock out the credentials that you need that are like genuinely interesting to you. So for that reason, I would say that college is like low-key easier than high school because it's a lot more flexible. Would love to hear what you've learned about yourself since being in college. Kind of just like what I talked about, I've really learned that I love having control over my schedule and flexibility, and I've learned that I like to slow down and not be stressed out, which I feel like a lot of people would agree with. But I feel like I was always going 100% in high school, trying so hard for everything, burning myself out. And now in college, I've been able to slow down, take my time through my workouts, get ready, put on a cute little outfit. I love romanticizing my life, going to coffee shops, studying with my friends, going to the beach. I also realized that, yeah, I do like going out, which I never thought I did. In high school, I did not like going out, but now I definitely do enjoy it more. I feel like that's like the freshman year thing, is going out. And I've also learned that I get overstimulated very quickly by plans in particular, even if they're really fun plans. Like I could have the most packed week with all of the best things and I would still feel overwhelmed. So just trying to like slow down and not over schedule myself has been really important in college. But yeah, and also just like realizing that I'm a super independent person and that I need my alone time is really important, and like was something that I realized because obviously I live in the dorms. I live with 2 other girls. Alone time is rare, and I've realized that I definitely need it, and I just love like living on my own and like away from my family, which has actually helped my relationship with my family, I would say, because then now I feel more connected and like, I don't know, like I'm living my own life with them as opposed to like always being with them. So I don't know, I'm kind of yapping. I feel like I've learned a lot about myself in college, but I can't like put my finger on just like one thing, but those are just like a few things. Do boys actually mature when they get to college or nah? No. That's just from my experience and from like the things that I've talked to about with other girls. I think boys kind of go crazy their freshman year, especially if they're gonna join a frat. They go a little crazy. They are not mature. They're not mature. And you have to realize when you're your freshman year, you're still like your senior year self, but with way more freedom. Like freshman boys are 19-year-olds living alone for the first time, partying, going crazy. I definitely think that sophomore year, junior year, senior year, they really mature and they realize they need to lock in, but the freshman year boys are just as immature, if not more immature. And again, I don't want to generalize. Like obviously I'm sure there are those super mature freshman year boys that are just lover boys at heart and like aren't going crazy, but from my experience, it doesn't necessarily get that much better the second they enter college. How to be confident with smaller boobs. I'm wearing a hoodie right now, you can't tell, but if you've been watching my channel, you know I am a proud member of the Itty Bitty Titty Committee. Check out my Instagram if you want proof. And honestly, I love having a smaller chest. I feel like, first of all, It's so much easier to work out, lift weights, run. It doesn't hurt, which I'm so grateful for because all of my friends with bigger chests always complain about it. And I also feel like things fit me easier. Like I don't have to worry about my boobs not fitting into a top or anything like that. And also, you can get away with wearing so much more, I feel like what's socially acceptable as a woman, which is like annoying and unfortunate, but it's also true, with a smaller chest. Like I will sometimes wear bikinis where I'm like, oh my god, this is like a strip covering my chest. And as someone with a smaller chest, it's like fine because I literally look like a man, low key. But I think that if someone wore that with like a bigger chest, one, they'd be way more likely to have a boob fall out, and two, they'd be way more likely to get called a slut, which is so sad and unfortunate, and like I hate that. But realizing that having smaller boobs is a privilege. Literally, people get breast reductions for a reason. Like, you know, the grass is always greener, and just realizing that it's like better to appreciate the advantages of having a small chest than wishing they were bigger made all the difference. And don't get me wrong, this isn't me saying that I've never wished for a boob job. Like every now and then I'll put on a top and be like, wow, like Alex Earl right now, like I need them on me. But just realizing that like, okay, am I gonna pay 10K for a boob job at the moment? No. Like it's not worth it. I'd rather just be confident in my smaller chest and appreciate all of the advantages that that has to it, rather than being insecure and wishing that I could have like double D's, because I just know like that's just not on the cards for me. How to initiate more conversations about intimacies with your boyfriend. Being intimate is intimate, and you should hopefully have a connection, especially if this person is your boyfriend, with that person. And you should have that trust to communicate what you want while being intimate. And there's ways to go about it. You could literally just sit down and be like, hey, like, if you've already been intimate in the past, you could like sit down and be like, hey, like, I want to talk about last night, blah, 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 kind of get into it. Or if you want to get more intimate, or you want to get intimate with someone, maybe you've never been intimate before with them, you should always just like be yourself and talk about it, because intimacy is a very serious thing, and you don't want to do anything that you're not comfortable with, and you don't want to make anyone else uncomfortable, and you want to feel comfortable in the process of it. So it is so important to voice your needs and your wants and your desires while being intimate. So I know it's hard, like I am not always the best at talking about what I want, but it is so important to initiate those conversations, because they also always, the hardest part of those conversations is starting the conversation, and then once you both get into the conversation, it literally will start flowing. That's at least always been my experience with it, and they probably want to talk about it too. Like if you want to talk about something, they probably want to talk about it too. They probably have opinions, they probably have questions and desires themselves, but they're probably scared to bring it up too. So by you doing that, you're gonna create a more trusting, comfortable environment, and it's just gonna make your intimacies and experiences going forward so much better. So I know it's scary, but just do it, because it will make everything so much better. What advice would you give to someone who is doing sorority rush? I'm doing COB. Just be yourself. Go towards the houses and the girls that you could see yourself being best friends with. It doesn't matter about rankings or anything like that, because if you have to fake who you are to get into a sorority, you should not be in that sorority, because once you're in it for 4 years. And if you hate the people that you're talking to, why would you put yourself in that sorority? It doesn't matter what ranking there is. Like if you don't vibe with those girls, don't go there. I would say just be yourself and amplify and focus on and highlight your best traits, because you definitely have to try. Like when you're rushing, you have to bring forth your best version of yourself, but it has to be yourself. So when you're picking out like what clothes to wear, stay true to your style. Don't just copy what everyone else is doing. Wear what you want to wear, and just wear a really good outfit that represents your style. Same thing with your personality. Don't change your personality. Be the best version of your personality and talk to those girls and click. And also, don't be boring. Girls don't want to, like, don't talk about your favorite color. Don't talk like about, oh, I like going to the beach, I like tanning. No, we all like going to the beach, we all like tanning. Talk about like fun facts about yourself, and feel free to embarrass yourself, because when you make someone laugh or you touch someone in their heart, that's what makes them remember you and feel connected to you. And that's what you want at the end of the day. When it comes to rushing, they're gonna go back and they're gonna think, okay, what girls do I remember from today? Make them remember you. So just try to have those interesting conversations, be the best version of yourself, and go to the houses and sororities that you really click with, because those are gonna be your sisters for the next 4 years. Talk about your first time, please. Oh my god, guys. Okay. I feel like I'm finally like a grown woman enough to like talk about this. But I've never really shared anything like this online. But you know what? We're going girl talk. So this is girl talk. My first time was when I was 15. It was my freshman year with not my most recent ex, but I've only ever had 2 boyfriends. It was my first ever boyfriend. It was like right after a formal school dance. We came back home and I didn't really know what I was doing. I was like still like super inexperienced. It wasn't his first time. I like trusted him, obviously. Like we were boyfriend and girlfriend. It wasn't a great relationship, but it wasn't like a bad relationship either. And he asked me if I wanted to. And like I was terrified. Like I was actually terrified, but at the same time I was like, okay, it'll be an experience. I want to make him happy. I honestly don't think I was entirely ready. I wanted to wait till I was 16. Like I don't know why I had like this number thing in my head. I wanted to wait till I was 16, but I did it when I was 15. And for that reason, I will always say, never, ever, ever rush into it. Always make sure that you're comfortable with the person that you're doing it with. So I don't regret it or anything like that. I just definitely think it was a little bit early for me, but it also gave me experience and helped me in my future relationships. But that was my first time experience. My just like biggest tip would be, 1, use protection, be safe, do it with someone that you feel comfortable with. Don't let anyone pressure you into doing anything that you don't want to do it. And don't let anyone pressure you into doing anything that you don't want to. Getting intimate like that, it doesn't make you cool. If all your friends are losing their virginities and you're not, that's fine. If you want to wait till marriage, that's fine. Literally, just listen to yourself and do what feels right in the moment, and just make sure that you are feeling comfortable, safe, and secure, and that is how you are going to have the best first time. And also, like, yeah, it might hurt, unfortunately. I remember it kind of hurt for me. Like, the first time, it's not probably gonna be good. If it is good, that's great, but it's probably not gonna be good, so just give it a chance. Yeah. That's all I can say about that. Comparison is killing me, but I can't stop. I used to be the worst comparer ever. I would literally look at every single girl and be like, I wish I had her legs, I wish I had her face, I wish I had her boobs, I wish I had her body. But once I realized that I could wish that as much as I want and it will never happen because you literally only get yourself. And instead, I was able to switch my mindset to, instead of comparing myself to other girls, I put all of that energy that I used to put into comparison into working on becoming the best version of myself. Instead of being like, I wish I had her legs, in my head I go, I want to have the best version of my legs that I possibly can. Instead of wishing, I wish I had her closet, I'm gonna say, I want to have the best version of my closet that I can, because those are all things that you can actively work on yourself to achieve those goals. Wishing that you looked like someone else or comparing yourself to someone else, that does no good for anyone. And the girl that you're comparing yourself to probably is comparing herself to other people as well. And if we all just stopped comparing ourselves to other people and just started working on ourselves, we would all be so much more confident, happier, hotter, and it would just be like a better world. So just realize, like, everyone compares themselves. It's a natural thing to do, but instead of wasting your time and energy on comparison, just focus on what you can do to yourself and work on becoming the best version of yourself, because that's all you have. At the end of the day, you have yourself. Do you ever feel FOMO? Every now and then, yes. I used to get it more than I do now, because if you break it down, FOMO stands for fear of missing out. If I don't want to do something, I'm not missing out on anything. Say, for example, I like to use partying just because it's low-hanging fruit for me. If I don't feel like going out and I know that I need a night in, I'm not gonna get FOMO from not being at that party because I'm not missing out on anything that I would want to be at, you know? So just flip it like that, and then it makes the biggest difference. Like, you're not missing out if you don't want to do it, so don't get FOMO about it. What is your shaving routine? How have you been liking laser hair removal? How long does it take to make a difference? Okay, I always get questions about my bikini line. I live in San Diego. I'm literally always in a bikini. I used to just shave. I literally would use conditioner and a woman's razor, but I've also heard really good things about a men's razor. Imagine this is your bikini area, okay? Go down, down, side, side, and then you can go in the middle and like reverse, and just make sure that you like soak up in the shower so that your pores or follicles, I guess, can open, so you can like get all the hair as cleanly and like smoothly as possible, and then also moisturize after. That would be like my best recommendation for anyone just shaving. I've never tried shaving cream. I probably should, but honestly, I just feel like I have not super thick hair, and I have like pretty good genetics when it comes to the down there area. So I've never really dealt with like bumps or anything like that. So I'm just very lucky in that area. But that's kind of how I've always shaved. But now I am in the process of doing laser hair removal, and it is literally the best thing I've ever done. I used to have to shave every single day. Now I literally only shave once a week, if that. I do my armpits and my bikini area. It definitely hurts similar to a wax if you've ever done that. But I think I've done 5 sessions so far, and I started seeing progress even just after the first session. Definitely like by the second session, it was like really working. So I would definitely recommend, and literally I am hairless, like 10 out of 10. But it's definitely expensive, so it kind of just depends, and if not, just get yourself a good ass razor. How do you handle really, really bad days? When I'm having a bad day, I always just try to make my mindset better. I always try to put on a cute outfit, go to the gym, work out, move my body, eat something good, listen to a good podcast, and just kind of like turn the day around. But if I'm having a really, really bad day, something insanely shitty happened, I'm just going through it, like fighting demons, just who knows? It's okay to have bad days. Realizing that and just embracing having a bad day made it so much better, because sometimes when you try to push those bad days down, you just start to feel like you're in a rut over the long time, because you're like, why am I so sad? Why am I so unmotivated? Blah, blah, blah. It's because you're suppressing it. But sometimes you just need to have a day where you're like, damn, today sucks, and I'm just gonna let it suck. And you give yourself that day to just eat whatever, not move from your bed, rot all day, cry it out, journal it out, whatever you have to do. Just embrace the bad day, and then the next day you are going to probably feel so much better, and force yourself to get up and make it a good day. So when I'm having a really, really bad day, I just do the little things that I can for myself that I think will make me feel better. Sometimes I just lean into the bad day and let myself let out all those emotions and not do anything productive for myself, and just rot in bed and like totally be sad if I want to, because it's okay to not always be okay. So it really just depends, like what level of bad are we talking. If it's like a little bit bad, like, oh, like I'm in a grumpy mood, I'll try to turn my mood around. But if something like really bad happens and I'm going through it, sometimes the only way through is through. Do you ever deal with huge breakouts? What do you do to clear them? I am so grateful to say I don't really deal with breakouts anymore on my skin, but last summer my skin went to hell, literally. I will put some pictures like right here. It was awful. I've like never had such little confidence in myself, and I didn't know why. My diet didn't change, my caffeine intake didn't change, my stress didn't really change, my skin just exploded. And for the longest time I just tried like changing up my skincare routine, changing up my diet. Nothing was working. I was so confused. I didn't know why. And then I finally went to the doctor. I showed him my skin. He prescribed me just like the most basic skincare that they give to every person struggling with acne. And I swear within literally 2 weeks, my skin looked entirely different. I'm wearing makeup right now, but I barely get like active breakouts. It's more just like scarring that I deal with. So my biggest tip to anyone, like if you get a pimple here and there, like maybe try getting rid of some dairy, changing up your diet, stuff like that. If you are dealing with really crazy acne that is not normal to you, just go talk to your doctor, because I wish I did it sooner, because they are literally trained to deal with hormones and acne and stuff like that, and they can help you. So in the past I have dealt with breakouts, and going to the doctor was literally a game changer. Lastly, advice for upcoming freshmen: get excited. Freshman year has literally been the best year of my life. I only have 2 months left of my freshman year, which is like actually insane. I don't even know how that happened. I'm literally gonna miss this year so much. I'm gonna make a whole separate video about freshman year, what to bring, what to expect, stuff like that. So definitely stay tuned. But my biggest piece of advice would be to get excited. Don't be scared, don't be nervous. Those feelings are all natural, but I promise you, you're gonna show up and it's gonna be crazy, and you're gonna be like, oh my god, my parents just left me. And then you're gonna get to this point where you feel so comfortable and at home, and you're gonna find your people, you're gonna find your place, and you're gonna love college. So don't stress about it too much. Feel all the feelings, get excited. I think you can have random roommates and get lucky, but my biggest piece of advice would be to scout out your roommates. Most colleges have like Instagram pages where people will post themselves and then like a little caption about themselves, etc., and then you can like DM them and find them. That's how I found my roommates. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Don't go random, find your roommates, and just go in with an open mind. And don't think that your life at home and your friends at home are the best people you're ever gonna meet and that you've peaked and like that those are your people, because if you have that limiting mindset, you're gonna hate college because you're just gonna be thinking about being at home. When you move to college, you have to have that open mind to get ready to meet amazing people, to start a new life, and to, in a sense, leave your old self behind and create a new self and discover yourself and just be the best version of yourself in a new place. So yeah, have an open mind, have an open heart, get excited, and you only get to do freshman year once. This is your year to make mistakes. It's okay to not be perfect. It is okay to mess up, because at the end of the day, you're just learning about yourself, and everything is a learning opportunity. And this isn't just even freshmen, honestly. This is for everybody in life in general. Like, our younger years are to make mistakes so that we can grow into the people that we are meant to be and mature and have those life experiences. It's okay not to be perfect. It is okay to fuck up. That is how I'm going to end off today's YouTube video. I hope that I made it through a lot of your guys' questions, and let me know if there's more. Leave me a little comment down below. I love these types of videos. I feel like it's literally a FaceTime. I'll definitely try to do more videos like these. But yeah, that was my girl talk Q&A big sister advice video. Thank you, Addicted, again for sponsoring today's video. Make sure to like and subscribe. Follow my other social media platforms down below. And with that, I love you guys so much. I'll see you in the next one.